Yeah, hi friends. So, welcome everyone to another episode of our Coffee Conversation, hosted by Amirr, Virani, Mansoor Thakral, and Ankita Jain. She's not able to join in today. She has some uh, urgent personal thing has come up. We'll be missing her. So today, we have an interesting topic and a young and dynamic speaker among us, Ayushi Poddar.
Hello
She is a
everyone.
neuromarketer. She's a neuromarketer and she conducts workshop on neuromarketing for business owners and students. Besides, she also does consulting to clients regarding neuromarketing, branding, and growth marketing. So, is the topic exciting? I am excited. So, let's welcome Ayushi Poddar to Coffee Conversation. Hi, Ayushi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
All good. We all excited to hear about this interesting topic on
Yeah,
neuromarketing. So, your first question: what is neuromarketing and why is it important?
right. So, neuromarketing is a very nascent field. It's not very new as a subject, but it's very new here in our country, right? It's primarily has been dominated in the United States of America.
Yeah.
So, neuromarketing is mostly simply stated it's marketing again, as the name suggests, but it uses psychology, neurosciences, consumer behavior, behavioral economics. These are the subjects that it aligns together. It combines
Mm-hmm.
psychology with consumer behavior in order to reach to the masses and market your brand, product or service to the ultimate or the final consumer. So basically आप हमारा साइकी को यूज कर रहे हो और हम जिस तरह से खरीदते हैं जो हमारा बाइंग बिहेवियर है बिहेवियर पैटर्न्स है कि हम क्यों खरीदते हैं कब खरीदते हैं डिस्काउंट है सेल है उन सब चीजों को साइंटिफिकली यूजिंग टूल्स दिस सब्जेक्ट कंबाइंस इट टुगेदर ताकि हम एक ऐसा मॉडल डिजाइन कर स्ट्रैटेजी बना सके जिससे हम बेच सकें अल्टीमेटली और फायदा हो हमें
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Interesting.
या
So I say, how do we use this on social media?
Yeah, so again, right now it's very social media is very crowded, right? There are too many people advertising, selling. Every now and then हमें कोई ना कोई हमारा friend या हमारे कोई acquaintance is starting something of their own. And every business today is coming up on social media, right? So again, this is something what we call as the 4% rule. That only if say 100 people are posting today, only 4% comes to our eyesight. Okay, सब कुछ हमें नहीं दिखता है. So in order to attention of 4%, it becomes extremely important to design your graphics in a certain way. Other than the usual posting timelines, कि Instagram पे आज इस time पे 11 बजे post करना है या LinkedIn पे. उसके अलावा भी, how your graphics should look like. What percentage of your graphic needs to be text? Or, what percentage of graphic would be, what color combination should go in. If the graphic colors are in line with your brand colors, logo ka colors. So using those factors, we can actually capitalize on that and get that very limited attention that the users have again, right? So
All
that's how
right.
it's very important to get that attention span ताकि हमारा जो marketing efforts है वो waste ना हो, it reaches to maximum number of eyesights.
Right.
That's interesting
Yeah.
concept. Ayushi, another question is,
Yeah.
in India, which brands are using neuromarketing according to you and why?
Right. So this is a very good question because helping and understanding this subject with the help of real-time examples makes it much more easier. So I say there are many companies. Such a simple example that I'm going to take is Zomato. So raise your
Mm-hmm.
hand if you're a foodie. Everybody loves eating food, ordering food. So Zomato is a very classic example that way. So neuromarketing use for. Then I'll tell you how. So Zomato uses red color in its logo, right? It's red
Yes.
and white. So white
Mm.
में what we see is there's a spoon. Zomato के
Mm.
name से पहले it's using the reverse color, negative spacing in order to highlight that spoon. Why? Because बिना चम्मच काटे के तो कोई खाना खा ही नहीं सकते unless we're eating that part from our hand,
Yeah.
right? So that is one thing. That's one way of using negative spacing. Something that we might come across like Snapchat also does. Yellow base पे एक वो ghost white color का रहता है. And then again, Zomato uses red color because there's a reason behind it. Colors like red, orange, yellow, they are very warm color. Okay, they increase our hunger level, which is what we call as the arousal level. So that is why it is using that particular color. Again, you will see Swiggy, Dine Out, all these platforms using those particular colors. Okay, because they want to arouse us in order to make us hungry. ताकि impulse purchases जो होता है ना, impulsely कि अभी मन कुछ भूख नहीं है लेकिन मन कर रहा है कुछ yummy खाने का. Again, impulse. So that's one example I give. Then again, I'll give another example of a classic Indian brand called Chumbak. So Chumbak or Bewakoof. They are again into these apparel and accessories ka thing. So they are again positioning themselves as quirky, which is why if you see Chumbak ka logo, it's owl. It is very abstract, but the colors that they are using in their products. I'm not talking about their logo this time, but in their products, they're funky, they're quirky, they're very comfortable that way. So that is the kind of positioning they are doing. Which is why using abstract colors or multiple different colors in their graphics, it becomes much more easier to convey the playfulness of that particular brand, and that's how they're actually positioning it. Right. So these are some examples that I could think of, and even otherwise, if you see, there are a lot of these brands are doing marketing on social media. For instance, I'll tell you about Oyo. Now again, Oyo rooms, if you see their graphics, they use very less pictorial representations, and again, there's a lot of space left in their graphics. Now they're strictly following the 4% rule कि जितना कम text में हम बात convey कर सके over the graphic, because anyway a person will not stay more than 7 seconds on your particular graphic. Now this is a scientifically proven fact. Not more than 7 seconds will I spend. Again, brands like Mad Over Marketing. These guys are also, you see, they are using their brand logo colors in their graphic designing also. So whenever you see a blue and a white graphic or a peacock green color thing, you will immediately come to know कि ये MOM का है. So that is how they're actually using and capitalizing on their colors, ताकि कभी भी आप वो colors देखो कुछ ना कुछ वे में तो आपको उनका brand याद आ ही जाए.
So this is about neuromarketing by companies in India. Can you share highlights on brands using internationally? Which industry and which brands?
Your voice got broke. Can you come again?
Share some examples of brands in India. Let us hear about stories international, brands which are using neuromarketing according to you, and how did it help them?
Correct. So overseas में तो we have abundant examples. सबसे पहले I'll take a very commonly available product called Apple. iPhone बहुत लोगों के पास में है, MacBook again बहुत लोगों के पास में. Not a lot of people know कि people think Apple बस ऐसे ही Apple बन गया है. See, the brand name probably could be such, but if you see the logo, it's half bit, right? It's half eaten apple. Now that is a symbolic representation of the technical bytes. That megabytes, gigabytes, terabytes that we see. So it's actually that byte from there that the apple is half bitten. Or maybe partially bitten. So again, they are actually trying to explain what their business is about, that they're in the technological space, by representing, even though Apple is again abstract, but the byte has a symbolic representation. Now even if you see, now this is again about, I'm talking about logos here. So the kind of font that we are using in our logo, if you see Barbie, the brand Barbie itself, or Disney, they are all using sans script fonts. Something which, probably Google is not. And how would you differentiate is because it's a designer font, Disney or Barbie or, these brands. Whereas Google has a very static, very professional looking font, which is a non-script font. So your font actually decides कि आपका, it actually tells a lot about what your business is about. So because Disney, Barbie, all these guys are selling quirky toys to youngsters, they want a fun, frolic kind of an experience. Whereas again, Google is not doing such. It's in the technological space. Now, again, if you see Amazon, I'm giving big examples because most of us will be able to relate to them, and we've always heard of them. We've used their services at some point in our time. So Amazon, if you see, there's a smile, an arrow between A and Z, and not O N. It ends at Z. Now there's a reason why that's there, because it says कि भाई हमारे पास सब कुछ है, A to Z. आप कुछ भी, you just name it and we have it.
Yes.
So they are actually using these very salient ways. So most of us will not be able to identify कि ये क्यों है. हमें तो लग रहा है कि वो हमारे चेहरे पे मुस्कुराहट लेके आ रहा है, इसलिए वो स्माइल बना के रखा है. But नहीं, it's actually explaining कि हमारे पास में सब कुछ है. We are your go-to spot. Like Google is their go-to spot for any information we need. Google Baba is Zindabad. So that way.
All right. Okay, so
Yeah.
Ayushi, now as it's going on thing, what is Pepsi and Coca-Cola doing different, and how are they using neuromarketing?
Your voice is echoing, Mansoor. Could you just repeat Coca-Cola and?
Okay, so I'm saying Coca-Cola and Pepsi, what kind of neuromarketing are they using?
They are using the power of viral marketing.
Okay.
I mean, how they are using the channel of micro networks. Okay, so they started from one spot. Again, this is also very related to how Facebook did. So Coca-Cola and all of these, they are using viral marketing. So they are making A, viral content, and B, they're selling on what people, on the flavor palette of people. So they start their micro network from one particular spot, and then they keep passing it on to people from one person to another, and then it trickles down to all the lower levels of society. And literally from one person to the other, it just goes from one here and there. So micro networks and viral marketing is something that they are actually using and building on, and that has gotten them to great lengths, as we can all understand. Again, because this is exactly why a couple of days back, when there was this complete controversy, that not controversy, but then I guess one of these footballers, I can't recall their name. Yeah, it just dropped down on their entire stock. Like it just went down. They lost billions again because they're into the viral marketing space, and an influencer of that level, of that followership and viewership, just passed it on. I'm not drinking this. Maybe he didn't even think twice before doing that, and people were impacted that badly that it was directly impacted on their revenues.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's so like you're explaining so well. So I would really like to know how is the teaching experience been of the neuromarketing?
Before that, Mansoor, I want to ask her one question, which has come up during the conversation. How has been Indian companies receptive to neuromarketing, and what is the percentage of companies using neuromarketing?
Right. So again, neuromarketing as a subject here is not very popular. It's very nascent here. A lot of people don't even know what neuromarketing is. They're hearing it probably for the first time. Whenever I take it up. So what they are using they are using different kinds of existing psychologies that are there as in marketing practices. That would be emotional marketing, something that Cadbury does. कुछ मीठा हो जाए, या रक्षाबंधन के पहले सेलिब्रेशन तो बनता है, और that lovey-dovey kind of an experience. So they are again tapping on emotions, or mammy poco pants. So they are again using emotion कि आपके बच्चे को कोई भी तरह का rashes नहीं हो, even huggies. So they are tapping on emotion. So that is what A, brands are doing currently. B, on the digital space, what brands are doing is they're using psychology of reviews. So every time when we go up on the digital space trying to buy anything from any e-commerce site, we end up reading reviews. हमें पता है कि I want to buy probably this particular product, but we still read reviews. So the way reviews are picking up right now in the form of star ratings or videos, testimonials. That's something we are seeing of late has been picking up. But as this entire subject capitalizing on all the 360 degrees of neuromarketing. That is something we don't really see a lot, because again, it's not very known. A lot of work, whatever works in the US will not work here for a lot of different economic reasons, and the standard of living. So the kind of strategies that are developed there, there aren't a lot of people doing that here in our country. So when I started doing this, I honestly couldn't find a lot of material, which is why I took it upon myself that I need to come up with more, content that is directly relatable and that can work in the Indian subcontinent. So as a whole, 360 degree approach किसी के पास नहीं.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Mansoor, your question.
Yeah. So how's the teaching experience been?
Well, it's been actually quite overwhelming, because every time I go and talk about this to someone, they are so excited कि चलो आज कुछ नया सुनने मिलेगा, नया सीखने मिलेगा. And again, marketing is something they've not heard of. So marketing is something that can pull them, but neuro is again something that can keep them attached to listening to my constant blabber and bug throughout till the end, without dropping out. Yeah.
We'll remember this, bug.
Yeah.
Every speaker says some catchy lines for our viewers and for us to later remember you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so secondly, like you do courses, right? So what basically do you teach in the courses?
Yeah, so I have different types of courses designed for different needs. So for someone who's a brand owner, or someone who wants to start their own venture, for them I have a specific course that would talk about the homework that anybody needs to do before starting a brand, or even if they have a brand, what kind of rebranding exercise can help them in order to get a better market share and capitalize on that. So that would probably include the psychology of logo, or fonts, colors, all of that. Then I have a specific course that is designed for business houses that would cater to everything that they need in terms of advertising and marketing. Now, by this I mean direct advertising in terms of what kind of ad copy should they be writing, what kind of graphics, what kind of stock photos should they be using. This is for business houses that already have the kind of revenue in order to outsource the work to someone else. So a small business owner who's really starting right now will not have the necessary funds for that purpose. So for them, I have designed this basic course on branding, that they can take it up at their level and enlighten themselves. And then I have two other courses which are meant for students and for anybody who's excited to learn something new. That would talk about the kind of psychology that goes into cracking a good sales deal or landing a good sales contract. Now that comes under psychology of negotiation, or you have from a customer standpoint of view कि ये reviews किस तरह से हमें impact करते हैं. We read reviews, but sometimes like it is said that like an iceberg, our mind is 3/4 subconscious and 1/4 is the only part that we actually know कि हमारा दिमाग चल रहा है. For instance, I have a lot probably going on right now in my mind. I am focused more upon what I'm speaking right now. This is the part, the 1/4 part of my brain that I am aware of. So how these are ways, customers are attacked. And from a customer standpoint of view, how they can enlighten themselves and not fall prey to such things, Again, from that perspective also I have courses.
All right.
Yeah.
So Ayushi, who's your target audience and how do you find them?
Right. So my target audience is mostly young entrepreneurs from my generation, or from anybody who wants to start something of their own. Now that could be, I'll give you an example. I had conducted this webinar with two women-led entrepreneurship communities. One was from the Jain International Trade Organization community, and there was another group which is Career After Family. Now both these communities had something in common. They had women who have led their lives as working for their family members, or raising kids, but now it's time that they want to try something of their own and move out of their own comfortable space. So my target audience are these entrepreneurs, people like me from my generation, millennials, how impulsive we are, and not everybody ends up getting a funding, but they have some really bright and promising ideas. So these are the people I can actually help, and I reach out to them by talking to people on social, on Instagram mostly and LinkedIn. I try communicating on talking to them on Clubhouse, and then I find people such as yourself, who can help me reach out to other people and multiply the effect. That bubble effect, pebble effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's coming there. Yeah, it's interesting, and we are there in this journey of yours of spreading awareness. One
Absolutely.
interesting question is there. Many Indians must be thinking ke neuromarketing, whether it is legal to use or they have some apprehensions.
Yeah.
So
Right.
what is
So this
your
is
say?
Yeah. So again, see, neuromarketing is at the end you're selling some stuff to your people, right? It's marketing only used in a different format. So see, there are no rules or government guidelines that govern this, but you have some statutory guidelines for marketing purposes only, like the Sale of Goods Act or Consumer Act. So whatever guidelines or whatever is illegal in marketing as a whole, promising something and not delivering, or over promising, or faking something, which is anything that's illegal in terms of marketing would be applicable here. So whatever is unethical in terms of marketing, those are the same things that will be applicable here. There's nothing new, or there's nothing special about what should not be done here. As long as you are maintaining the decorum of, uh, throwing knowledge to your audience. It's all about what you can give. How are you solving a problem? As long as that is being met, it's fine. But now, if you want to fill your own pockets with some sort of shady, sorry, scam, or by coming up with a poor quality product, yet over promising on that, those are things that needs to be avoided anywhere and wherever we go, irrespective of what kind or what format of marketing we're using.
All right.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Okay. So let's go forward to the second part of our show. Okay. So
Yeah.
so these are a bit personal questions.
Mansoor, your voice is echoing.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, right.
Cool. So this will be the personal part. So we all want to know who has been your role model and why.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very good question. So there have been two people who've been instrumental in, in allowing me to be where I am and shaping me. One is my mother. She's a constant inspiration for me. Okay, I've seen her literally since the time I've taken birth. So, I mean, everything that she's done, all her hardships and everything, that helps me keep myself grounded. And even when things weren't working out back in 2020 because of pandemic, I was able to keep my calm because of her. All that patience and endurance, all of that comes from her. And the other person is my maternal grandfather, my Nana ji. So he is today standing at 75 years of age, and probably he knows at par as much as I do about this subject. He heard of this, and then he did his own research. And it's unbelievable how he's been able to, continuously learning, and he is so well aware of everything. He pushes me to push my, he tells me to push my limits every now and then. He helps me reach out to these people. I mean, you won't believe Richard Thaller's. He's a Nobel Prize winner in economics back in 2018. So he literally found a way to make me talk to him about behavioral economics. A man of that prestige. I mean, just imagine he just went to great lengths in order to, get me a quick chat with him. So just these are the two people who've actually been inspiring me throughout.
So interesting role models you have. We like to know our viewers, what challenges did you face as a beginner in this field?
Actually, these are the challenges I still face today, even after 1.5 years of having incorporated this. So, excuse me. The thing is that I come from the city of Joy, Calcutta. Okay, so around me, I don't have a lot of people who understand what I'm doing. It's very difficult, probably because they are very, they cast it upon the fact that CA, CS, MBA, CFA, actually these are the things, engineering, यही करना चाहिए. And since I am going out of way, I left my job to start this of my own. So I'm not choosing the path that is usually set for people to follow. And not a lot of people understand what I'm doing. So people around me are probably of finance background, or they're restricted to what they're doing. And then probably not as open to, understanding that way. So I sometimes feel that I don't get the kind of encouragement or the kind of push that would have been really required at this point. So that is something I really continuously struggle with, and the fact that I see a lot of people making a lot of money around me, which is not the case with me as of this moment. So then that I just feel a kind of burden that I need to push myself to great limits, and that could probably be hampering me in some way or the other. Because again, I have OCD, मैं quality compromise नहीं करूँगी, no matter what the cost is. So those are the things that I feel that I'm still struggling with, but I know it's short lived. It's not going to last long. Yeah.
Okay, so when you walked out in the market, okay, and telling that I'm going to do neuromarketing, what were the people like?
Yeah. So people were like, "What is neuromarketing? मतलब ये मार्केटिंग है कि क्या है, तुम बिहेवियर के बारे में बता रही हो." They're not aware. They're like, क्या है ये, थोड़ा बताओ. And then I have to actually start giving them examples, because even if I tell them what neuromarketing is in one liner as how I started, they won't be able to understand. तो फिर मैं देखती हूँ वो लोग के ऊपर में क्या वो पहन के रखे, घड़ी है तो कौन से ब्रांड का, एंड देन मैं बताती हूँ ये ब्रांड टाइटन का है, तो टाइटन क्या कर रहा है, या कैल्विन क्लेन क्या कर रहा है, और व्हाट काइंड, whatever brand they have on themselves, I'm explaining. और अगर कुछ भी नहीं मिलता है, then I just start talking about Colgate or some product that they use every day, Patanjali, things like that. And they're like, oh, अच्छा ये तो interesting है, अच्छा. Yeah.
So you're getting an interesting journey in people. So share us some wow moments which you have experienced in this 1.5 years.
Yeah, so there has been a wow moment that I had was when I had given this webinar with the G2 community, and the very next day I'm like, what the hell? I'm on 3 different newspapers. I'm like, what? How did this even happen? I'm not aware. I'm not used to see myself on the papers. I'm like, what is this happening? Did I just go viral, or what is this? And then that was like totally unexpected and out of the blue. And another wow moment that I had was when I got a chance to speak with Dr. Richard Thaler. And I was like, why would someone of that honor and prestige talk to me? I'm just a starter, and he wouldn't even know where I'm coming from or what I'm doing, but he spoke to me for a good 20-minute thing. He guided me. All of this happened, one of this happened earlier this year, and the other thing happened last year. So those were the things, and every time I speak to people, they are really astonished by the fact that I am so young and I'm giving a talk, or I'm delivering a webinar or a session or a workshop. So all of that is really, really something that makes me really proud of, the thing that I'm doing. Yeah.
This was wow moments. Any awkward moment you faced? People are not receptive, like?
Yeah, totally. So, a couple of weeks back, I did this thing with Gokhale Institute of Politics and Economics, Pune. So, a lot of students I felt were not willing to attend it, but they were forced to attend it. And then they were not reciprocating, despite me having these polls and quick chats coming up on the screen every now and then. So, those have been a little awkward, when you're asking guys reply. अरे Netflix का show बाद में देख लेना, लोग बाद में देख लेना, पहले मुझे reply कर दो. So when you keep, constantly keep asking people and they don't respond, or there's not as much engagement as you expect, then it gets a little awkward, कि अब मैं कैसे proceed करूँ. Maybe it's just going to be a one-way talking or communication that way. Yeah.
So, how did you build your clientele in the last 1.5 years?
How did I build my
Clientele, the client list.
clientele? Yeah. So it's,
Yeah.
you won't believe me, in organic word of mouth. I literally started with one client and one webinar, one chat, and it went on with word of mouth. So literally, from, if say 50 people attended it, then one of them or two of them got inspired, and then they led it on to other people. Or if one client liked my work, it's been literally word of mouth. I haven't done any sort of push marketing or any of my neuromarketing tactics. I still haven't got a chance to deploy any of that. It's been literally all organic. And every single project I've landed, or every single piece of talk or conversation I've landed, has been all organic and word of mouth. So yeah, it's been crazy.
We can see that.
So Ayushi,
Yeah.
would like to know, audience or listeners, who is Ayushi in one word?
Ayushi is neuromarketer. Simply stated,
Oh, no.
I'm crazy.
Something else.
No, but seriously,
Something
if
else.
someone has to say, then I would be, a close substitute to the word crazy in the Oxford Dictionary, because I am absolutely crazy. I do things which people don't expect, or I go on solo trips, or I start cooking, and when I start cooking, it's like I'm on spree. I'm cooking around, let's say, 2 dishes per day. So that's around 14 dishes per week. And it's crazy. I drive people crazy. I mean, if you ask my friends or family, they're like, "Kitna kitni pagal aur jhalli hai ye." So, I can actually be substituted to the word crazy in the Oxford Dictionary. If anyone's hearing this and has got sources, can probably push this out. That way I'll get a chance to be a part of that, dictionary.
So
Yeah.
we got three words which audience will remember. One was bug, jalli, and crazy.
Yeah. And एक bug भी था ना, I believe.
So I said na bug, jalli, and crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So these are the highlights. We'll have more highlights
Yeah.
now. Yeah, Mansoor, over to you.
Yeah. So Ayushi, what would you give an advice to someone who's running and chasing their dreams right now?
And advice to someone who's can't hear you.
Mansoor,
Chasing their dreams. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Someone who's chasing their dreams, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So I would really suggest them that, you need to stick to what you have decided for yourself, because definitely times are tough. And we probably it's going to take 2x of number of, 2x effort and 2x time in terms of growing up or scaling up. And even otherwise, I fully believe in this motto of karma. You get what you give. So if you're giving out to the society as a responsibility, then that's going to pay you back. It's going to come back to you in some form or the other. So I don't personally believe that you need to chase something more financial or something more monetary that way. You just need to keep pushing hard, and this is the time when you can actually, you can establish a base. Because right now, the society and the market is such that abhi jo log apna firm stability bana lenge, these are the people who are going to actually probably be able to last a dynasty in their in their own profession. That this is actually a very good time to start, probably, because you're actually having a lot of people paying attention to things that they wouldn't otherwise have, because they either have free time, or b, they are not spending as much time on things that they would otherwise be doing, like clubbing or traveling for that matter. So you can actually capitalize on these things. And it's very important to stick to what you've decided. People from my generation, they're very fickle-minded. अभी कुछ work नहीं किया तो छोड़ दिया. Immediate results चाहिए. It's never happened that way, and it's not going to happen that way. We are not Dhingchak Pooja. Even she needed a very great marketing PR to go viral. So unless we are willing to sacrifice on that part, it's very important to be positive and reach out to your community. That could be your friends, or that could be a social circle, that could be a social group that you have, someone where you feel belong to. So reaching out to your community is important in times like these.
That's super.
Correct.
So we had this on the topic and on knowing Ayushi. Now we have a
Yeah.
surprise for you, a rapid fire. So
Rapid fire.
your first question. Listen carefully. Being a neuromarketer or teaching neuromarketing?
Teaching neuromarketing any day.
Okay, Mansoor.
Are you a coffee person or a chai person?
None.
No
I'm
coffee.
more like a juice person.
Okay.
No, I hate coffee. I hate tea. I don't.
Then you are on the wrong show.
No. As long as you serve me hot chocolate, you have my heart.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Netflix or Hotstar?
Hotstar.
Okay. Webinars or workshops?
Webinars.
Design or color?
Design.
Morning person or night person?
Night person. Party all night. Yeah.
What is the strangest thing you have eaten?
Strangest thing that I've eaten. An eggless meringue. And believe me, I made this earlier today. It was made out of chickpeas. And my God, I just couldn't imagine that why have I even experimented on something like that. It's like an eggless meringue. And yeah, that's strange and peculiar.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do if you got 15 minutes of fame?
15 minutes of fame. Yeah, probably I would just start singing and then people will just fly off, like a scarecrow. Because I don't know, I somehow feel I sing well, but my friends disagree strongly, but I don't listen to them. So I like singing. So I would sing my way.
You would sing.
Yeah.
So,
that's
last-
me I'm singing today.
We have a last rapid fire question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how cool is Ayushi? And why do you
10 on
say
10.
that? 1 on 10.
10 on 10.
1.
10 on
Ooh.
10. कुछ भी कम नहीं है. I'm a complete package, I would say.
That's very interesting. So we had a
Yeah.
lovely conversation, viewers, with Ayushi, who is into a very niche field, neuromarketing, and we are happy to have such experts coming to our coffee conversations. We like to announce our next. We're having a next coffee conversation on tomorrow with Radha Shalini. It's an interesting topic. 10 reasons you need to stop stressing about art-based therapy. So do you tune in? 7:30 p.m. same time. Coffee conversations with Amirr, Virani, Mansoor Thakral, and Ankita Jain. We continue our journey, and we have one more surprise for our viewers. We are doing free Udyam registration clinic with Lions Club of Mumbai Shining at the Emerging India Forum with My Tax Guru. So we'll be sharing the details on our social media handles. Do check out the post, and you can connect with the respective team members. And this is an initiative where we want everyone take benefit of Udyam registration, which is like a social security card in India. So we'd like to thank our viewers who have taken time to come to our show, to Ayushi Poddar, who has given us 3 words, but, jalli and crazy. So this will be the highlight in our tomorrow's coverage. And do come to our coffee conversations, spread the word, and we will be bringing such interesting persons. And this initiative is supported by the Emerging India Forum with the Lions Club of Mumbai Shining. So, Mansoor, any parting words?
Okay. Before we go, Ayushi, how do we use neuromarketing in our day-to-day lives?
Right. We always talk, right? We're always talking to everyone. And the kind of things that we say, we have to find a way that we are able to incorporate some sort of fact or some sort of knowledge that goes out, very naturally. We're not pushing something. So that way we are actually being able to tell people कि हाँ हमारे पास में ज्ञान देने को काफी है और हमारे पिटारे का और चाहिए आपको तो आते रहिए और हमसे बात करते रहिए because that's the most basic way because we're talking and it's important to reach out to more and more people. So you can ask people that do you have anyone you can connect us with, and expanding your community, expanding your circle that way becomes important because at the end in a limited circle everyone's confined. There's not a lot of growth opportunity. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and reading becomes again very important. So whenever we read, there is something we happen to pick up at least around 4% to 7% of words that we read, and that helps to trigger some sort of information बाद में कभी काम आता है तो. So now I wasn't prepared कि आप ऐसा क्वेश्चन पूछोगे, but I was aware of the facts, so which is why again I was able to share. तो कब क्या काम आता है ना पता नहीं है. So you can read any piece of material or consume any piece of content that's there online, and इस तरह से you can actually grow. And that's again, marketing is again about all growth. So yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So we'll-
It's lovely talking to you all.
Yeah, so we'll continue our conversation, Ayushi, on different platforms. We'll invite you over there. So the journey is just started on this beautiful topic, and we would advise our viewers stay safe, stay connected, and enjoy your dinner. Sayonara. Signing off.
Absolutely. Have a lovely weekend. Thanks for hearing me out. Looking forward to talking to all of you again.
Sure,
Yeah.
definitely. Thank
See
you
ya.
all.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye-bye.